Alright, so this is John from MTA Trading. I just want to take you guys through a brief tutorial on how the new MTA Power Algo works. So out of the box, this is what you get. Okay, these are the default settings. You can see a few changes here from the old algo. You see more signals. You see possible reversals. You see entries. You see this box that in real time will change according to the market conditions. Okay, if we double click on the MTA Power Algo, we get this menu of inputs. We have start time and end time. This will affect the back tester, the strategy tester here on TradingView, which is a very important part of making this work correctly. Everything that you can select and change in here will have effect on the performance in the back tester. This is important to calibration of the new algo. So first, before I dive into this, I just want to give you guys a brief understanding on what you're looking at on the strategy tester. Okay, so net profit, this is the amount of the underlying that you're capturing. So like if I were to change this to SPY, for example, and it said $24, that's $24 in the in SPY's movement that you'd be capturing. That's not $24 in cash. That's the amount of movement in the underlying. Okay, percent profitable, this is pretty self-explanatory. Also, if you hover over these, it tells you exactly what they do. Another important part of this that we'll be looking at is average bars in trade. This will help adjust our expectations to what's going on. So let's go ahead and dive in. On default, as you can see, it starts January 1st of last year through current. Okay, so that will give you a smoothed out look at the performance of the algo dependent on the settings that you choose. Okay, so feel. I didn't want the feel out of the box to be too much different from the original algo. A lot of times simpler is better. But this actually has a lot more bells and whistles. So you see show possible reversals, show possible entries. When I turn those off, it clears the chart up. If there's ever any question for you guys as to what each of these does, all you have to do is hover over this eye with a circle around it, and it will show you in detail what each option will do. Show support and resistance levels. I'm going to talk about that after I go to the heat map, because this will be used here, which is the key to the calibration of this tool. Okay, so heat map. If you wonder how this changes back in time, the heat map is there to show you that. Okay, so the heat map, you can see right now we're in bearish consolidation, so this is kind of a deeper, darker red. The stronger the color, the stronger the trend. So if we were to do a rewind back to here, you would see that this level is a downtrend and this level is a strong downtrend. Blue is consolidating uptrend. Bright green is a strong uptrend. Whenever you get these areas of black, that's just consolidation. This will turn yellow, like a yellow light. It just means be careful. All of this is designed to make your expectations while you're in a trade or before you get into a trade realistic. So if you take a buy signal during a consolidation zone, don't expect a home run to be hit out of it, okay? Know that taking your profits is okay. As you can see, the colors are mapped out as we go. Here's a nice strong uptrend. One of the best things about this is the previous version of the algo, you had one chance to get in, and then you have to wait for a reversal. With this, it's not like that. You have multiple times to enter. So you can play these in several ways. You can get in, you can take profits, get back in, take profits, get back in, take profits, or you can add to your trade, which is an option here, and we'll show you that here in just a moment. Show support and resistance levels. You can see how that maps it out automatically for you, and you can adjust that sensitivity. There's a key by this to remind you that this is the key to calibrating the strategy. Okay, so I want you to watch this net profit number. As I adjust this, the net profits will change. And the point being is you want to adjust this depending on what time frame and what ticker you're looking at to get the best results. If we loop back here to start time, the closer the start time is to the current day, the more realistic your calibration will be to the current market conditions. The further back you go, the more smoothed out your numbers are going to be. This is adjusting support and resistance level. This basically calibrates the look back period. which the chart uses to find support resistance. So if I change this to like 30, you'll notice these lines are no more. See, they're way up here. They make trades harder to get into. It just depends on how much the underlying tends to move. There is no guesswork in this, okay? It's all done through the strategy tester. You don't just pick a setting like number 2 because you like that, because you like the amount of trades it gets you into. You have to go with the setting that performs the best in the strategy tester. The defaults on this are designed, I kind of based them around NASDAQ, the 1 minute chart, because that's what I prefer to trade. But it works with everything, and it works with high Kanashi candles, it works with regular candles, it works with all kinds of data sets. Without skipping a beat, let's jump into the strategies. Okay, a lot of these are self-explanatory. Scalper, that's looking to take quick profits. Okay, when you use the scalper, that will get you into trades quicker and out of trades quicker, as you can see here. Into trades and out of trades much quicker. In this scenario, the net profit goes way up. One of the things I like about these settings the best is the fact that this tells you how, if you ever wonder how often an entry comes up and is there a pot to take from, this tells you that for every single entry this thing gives, nearly 70% of the time there is a pot to be taken from. And you can even hone in on that more by using this part, which we will get into here in just a moment. That allows you to set your own exit logic, stop loss, take profit amounts. So the scalper, it gets you in quicker and out quicker. This is good if you're using like an evaluation account for Apex or something like that. Okay, so add to winning trades. This is one of the best parts. I've not found an algo that does this. But this tells you, and again, there's no guesswork. If I want to add to a winning trade, how well it will do. And you'll notice this net profit, it does not change when I just add this button. You have to go over here to pyramiding. Now, what this means is this is in an uptrend or a downtrend. What's the max amount of contracts or shares you're willing to add to the position? Okay, so as I up this, you'll notice this number changes. See, it almost doubled. What that means is it'll get in on an entry, and then the next entry, it will also add to the position. You notice how it stops at 2 there. If I change this to 3, okay. If you guys are wondering why it didn't add another trade here, I have built-in logic to protect the trader from adding into trades that have a lower probability of continuing on. Basically, what this is doing is it's figuring out your average cost, and if the average cost becomes, in this case, since you're short, becomes higher than a certain level, it will not enter the trade. Okay, so basically, it didn't add here because there would be no way for you to move your stop to break even if you add it again here. With this add, it puts your average cost right in here somewhere, which means you're able to put your stop above there to still lock in some profits. Okay, that's the simplest explanation of that, but it's kind of just a safety default that's built into the algo. Another way this helps is you can look at, let's just take this down to 6, so it's looking at the last month. Let's say you want to know how long these trends last when it really takes off. Okay, so what you can do here is you can go make sure add to winning trades is selected. Go to properties, and we'll start at 1. Okay, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at this number over here. Average bars in trade as well as this number here. Okay, when we up this to 2, we can see that the number almost doubles. Okay, when we up this to 3, we can see that it shoots up again, very nicely, as a matter of fact. Go up to 4. Notice how the number didn't change. Okay, the number did not change there. Okay, so what I want, this is designed to keep your expectations real. So if you get to 3 and then you don't notice much of a difference from 3 to 4, What that generally means is that these trends only last about 3 entries. So if you're trading this manually, once you get to the third entry, maybe slow down on adding your positions or think about taking profits. Here's another case, 1, 2, 3, and it's over. Here's another case, 1, 2, 3, and it's pretty much over. Okay, so there is no guesswork in this. This is all designed to be used with the strategy tester. Okay, moving right along here. Okay, trade only in strong trends. So I added this feature. It was intended to measure how long these super trends last, like these large drops. It was intended to adjust our expectations in a realistic manner. You notice how now these entries are no longer being taken. Now we're only getting into a trade the candle after the close of a super trend. Okay, and we're getting out as soon as that super trend is over. So if we look at this, let's just take this back again to June. We can see that on average, these super trends only last 7 1-minute candles. So if we're in a trade and we've gone up 6 or 7 candles, maybe move your stop to break even, think about taking profits, etc. Now that's going to change depending on the market condition. If I go back to January 1st, in this scenario it doesn't change, but in many scenarios it does. Okay, but this is designed to keep our expectations realistic. Okay, these aren't going to require much explanation, but I will touch on them. So tighter risk management on individual trades. This means every time you get in, it's going to pay attention to a tighter trailing stop that's pre-built in. It's going to allow you to take profits quicker, also exit quicker. Very similar to the scalper, but there are different parameters for each one. Okay, tighter risk management when adding to winning trades. So this is going to kick in similar to this. The only difference is that this is actually going to kick in when your current position size is greater than 1. So position size equal to 1 defaults to this. Position size is greater than 1 means you have 2 or more positions on at once, and that's when this will kick in. Okay, and you can see how the number down here doesn't change. Why is that? Because you're not going to be adding to winning positions unless you have add to winning trades turned on. Okay, then you go into properties and adjust the pyramiding until you see that it works. It's important to note that not all of these will work on. Notice how I just had to calibrate this up to 3 to make it work. This is important. You can calibrate much of the losses out. Point behind the calibration is to get this net profit up as high as possible and even the win rate as high as possible. Okay, we're going to turn that off. Okay, another thing I have never seen in an algo like this is range trading. So what this does is instead of trying to catch these trends, it waits until we have a clear level of support and resistance. And it's really quite simple, okay? So it takes entries and it will exit the entry as soon as it touches either a support or resistance level. Very, very simple, but very, very powerful. Trading this manually can be difficult. It will be a lot easier if you make sure that the support and resistance level is turned on so you can see it. If you don't see it, you can see that it still works. You just you're kind of flying blind there. So that's pretty self-explanatory. It's called range trading. One of the most powerful features on the MTA Power Algo is the auto flip feature. What this is going to do is this is going to automatically change depending on market conditions. It's going to change the strategy that you're using. So if market conditions change from trending to consolidating, it will automatically turn on range trading for you. If we start to break out, range trading will be turned off, add to winning trades can be turned on. It's actually important to note that this feature will never work unless you turn it on. Okay, that's very important to know. Also, range trading will never add to a winning trade. Okay, that's very important to know as well. So when you're range trading, you're trading with a smaller amount of risk, only one contract or share at a time. If you want to add to your winning trades on a breakout, you can turn on auto flip, put on add to winning trades, and then come up here and calibrate your pyramiding to get the best possible results. You can see the net P&L went up quite a bit from 69K to 93K. Keep going up, and we just calibrate it to get the best possible results every single time. Okay, and you can see right there about 3 is kind of where it started to flatten out. And just a reminder, when you have add to winning trades turned on, it will not do anything unless you adjust the pyramiding right here, okay? Last but not least, stop loss, take profit. User-defined bracket order. By checking the box below, all MTA Algo exit strategies will be disabled and replaced with the user-defined variables below. There are a few small pieces of code in here that are designed to protect you in case you're in a trade and there's a quick reversal. If it thinks that something is going to happen that might breach your stop loss, there is a good chance it might take you out. That doesn't happen very often, but just know that in some cases it does. When you turn this on, there is no guesswork. You've got to calibrate it with what works, not with what you like, okay? And this is also a pretty neat update. I know it sounds simple, but all previous versions of MTA Algo have been percentage-based take profits. This is now a dollar amount. So let's say you want to risk $50 to make 200. Let's see how that works. Pretty good in this case, 41% win rate. Okay, you can see how it maps out very clearly where the levels are. Take profit level, stop loss level. Let's make that a bit wider so you guys can see it. So here you can see where this is where you get stopped out if it touched it. This is where take profits when it hits that. You can see 37% of the time the trade works out. 37% of the time you'll be able to lock in your gains. But how to get access to this, okay? So all you have to do is pretty simply go to mtaalgo.com. Once you go there, you just click the subscribe button. All the documentation is also there. And here you have it. You can subscribe to it. You can get a nice discount on Apex as well while you're there if you'd like. All the documentation is right here. These videos will also be added to this as well once they're ready to go. Here's some real-time examples of how we use the algo to win. Go to how to set up your trading view with the algo, or where to find this in your invite-only scripts. If you guys have any questions on this, please feel free to join our Discord, which you can find the link at mtaalgo.com. I'm always on, so you can always ask any questions you might have. And with that, I thank you guys for being part of the MTA trading team, and I look forward to hearing your feedback on what you think of the new update.